Hello, this is Ariana Antonio, and this is my project review video for AOC1 1401 for the Project 2. So this week, what we did was we were given 4 methods to create, and then a series of instructions on calling those methods and displaying them with an alert. All very straightforward. There's add, compare, append, and then display, the display method to get them popping up. And then just things that we had to pass into those and then go ahead and do something with them, casting or adding or comparing, and then displaying those results in an alert on our phone. It was pretty straightforward and simple. At least the instructions were. Some of it did take a little bit of figuring out. In terms of function separation to logically separate your application flow, I'm going to be honest, I don't entirely understand what this question is asking. I feel like I just followed the order of the instructions. I did, put view did load or all of my actual function calls up in view did load as instructed. And then I created my functions below outside the brackets as was done in the videos for the class. So I hope that's okay or correct. And then I tried to put, a decent amount of comments to go to, sort of make things hopefully a little bit clearer about what was being done where. A few things that I think could use a little bit more clarification. I have a feeling a lot of what was confusing me is just going to take time and practice to figure out. Some of which was I originally created my mutable string all in one long thing with using the, initializing with format string 1, comma string 2, and it wasn't working, and I couldn't figure out for the longest time why, because it was throwing an error way up here, it wasn't throwing an error down here, and I didn't understand what the error meant. And it turned out because I hadn't used the NS mutable string alloc, and had to separate them out like this in order to get it to work, whereas up here you can just create NS strings like that. So I know there are different ways to create things, and sometimes they work one way and sometimes they work the other. So it's just going to be a matter of getting used to that, as well as learning what the various methods and functions available are. In terms of being able to, string with format's pretty simple, but, sometimes you alloc and then init with string. And, sometimes I know that I'm creating something, but I don't always know all the methods that are available to it. And even a lot of times when I jump to definition, I don't understand what that list is telling me. So a lot of it, again, is just gibberish right now, and it's just kind of getting used to it, as well as getting better at decoding what the error messages are telling me. And again, that's just going to take practice and time. I'm confident that I'll get it eventually. I feel like I'm doing okay so far. In terms of what I could have done better, I think the one thing that bugs me the most, and I don't know, I could be doing this perfectly right, I'm not sure, but for this one, you're supposed to create or compare two add two integers, bundle them in an NS string, and then bundle them in a number, and then cast those to a string, and it just felt like a lot of steps to then get them to basically add two numbers and display them. I feel like there has to be a better way to do this, at least a cleaner way. Again, this may be perfectly right, but instinct tells me there has to be a cleaner way to kind of get all this code done. So that's something that I think I could work on. So let's see. So I guess I will go ahead and run this. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it to run on my iPad. My provisioning profile was working just fine in AVF, and now when I went to run it on my iPad this morning, it just suddenly said I didn't have a provisioning profile. I don't know why that changed in the month and a half since I've used it, but so I will have to work on that. So for now, it is just in my iPhone simulator, but I have watched some other students' videos, so at least I know I'm not the only one. So okay, so we have our comparison popping up first. It's comparing 5 and 5 to see if they're the same number. And obviously they are. So it says the two values are 5 and 5, and the result is 1. And 1 is equal to yes for the Boolean. If they were not equal, it would be, this wouldn't pop up at all. But in this type of code, it would have been a 0. What number am I thinking of? So that is adding my value. That's adding 4 and 10 together, and then putting them into the string, into the alert to say 14. And then the last one is appending two strings together. So it says this string goes with this string for the next one. And so those two have been combined together as well. So all very simple code. You know, since I was having problems with when I created my mutable string, it took a little bit longer than it probably should have, but it was just that. Everything else was pretty simple. So good week, lots of new information learned. Looking forward to next week. Thanks so much. Bye.